Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to fourth quarter. How's everything going, man? What is up? We are back again for another wonderful week to talk about our favorite topic, sports, and what's going on in the sports world. Craig, what's going on, man?
Same old, man. Battling this cold now again. Like I don't know why, but it is what it is.
All right. So we got Mo joining us a little later. We gotta hop into it, man. I know you big on college football. You love watching college football, uh, 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 and I've been completely honest about this. I haven't. I've started. I'll watch college playoff football, but during the season, I'll be strictly NFL. That's just me. That's just me. So, Craig, let's get right into it, man. Deion Sanders had a big win for Colorado, and I was watching the game live, and I was like, man, this is they looking good. They look real good, and they beat a ranked team. It's not the same team, but they are ranked. What were your thoughts on Deion Sanders' big win?
Um, Obviously, it's a big win for that program. They had one win last year, and Dion came in and pretty much cleared house with 86 new players. Um, so he came in right away and he established pretty much what he started kind of established in at Jackson State. It's pretty much his way. He's going to come in and change things up a little bit. And, you know, a lot of people had a problem with it for the most part, but at the end of the day, he delivered. So, um, like you mentioned, TCU is not the same team as it was last year. Um, they lost some of their key players, especially their quarterback, who got them to the national championship game. But the team still came back. They had some pieces there that were still left over, and got some new players as well. And they were ranked like 16 or 17,
Mm-hmm.
and they were a 21-point favorite. So the fact that the Colorado, I mean, both teams didn't play well on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something that's going to have to be rectified going through the rest of the season. But Colorado wasn't supposed to win no more than like two games, maybe 3 games at the most. So the fact that they went in and went on the road and beat a top 25 ranked team just shows how that team has rallied around what Deion is preaching, with what he's saying, and they believe that they can win. It's pretty much them against the world. Like nobody believes in them for the most part, except for those guys in that locker room. And that's something you gotta love about Deion. He goes out there. He was a winner at Jackson State. He's so far he's 1-0. Got his team now in the top 25. Can't remember the last time Colorado was even in the top 25. So, and his son went out and had 500 yards. He set the school record for passing yards, I believe. He had 4 guys on the team with over 100 yards in receiving. Like that's crazy. So, they definitely had to work on their defense. But at the same time, I mean, you can't knock what happened in that game and how they persevered and how they won that game. So, definitely big win for them. They got I don't know who they play this week. I can't remember. I forgot. But
They play Nebraska.
Okay, yeah, that's right, Nebraska, because they're playing Matt Rule, and their team couldn't even score last week. So it's gonna be a tough task for Nebraska to win this game. But hats off to Colorado. I thought it was gonna take a few years for them to be relevant. I guess. I mean, they're gonna be relevant because it's Deion Sanders, but like to be a top program now. This obviously the season just started, so it's still 11 more games left to go. But
yeah,
it's a great start so far.
Man, I was like, okay, this is the real deal. His son is the real deal, you know.
Yeah.
And I knew he was because I watched, I followed them on Instagram, and they will post a lot of his highlights. Jackson State really didn't get a lot of TV time, so I don't think, being that it's a HBCU, I don't think people knew how good he was. They knew of Travis Hunter, of course, because Travis Hunter was the most touted corner in the country. But his son has to do something. He has a chance to do something special. He's in the Heisman talks right now. I don't know if he's going to win it because Caleb Williams looks crazy. Caleb Williams looks really good. I see why Arizona's tanking.
Yeah,
I see why. I don't get it. But we'll see because it's gonna be up to grabs. I'm telling you, it's the number one pick is gonna be. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Back to my point, I don't think Deion gets enough recognition as he's just a great leader in general, and he said he was bringing his Louis, and this is what Louis looks like. I thought they could have went, I thought they were going to win maybe 6 games, 4 or 5 games, but right now, I don't know. They might go to a quality bowl game. I'm looking at the schedule. I mean, the first real test they have is Oregon. They could go 3-0, lose to Oregon, lose to USC, beat Arizona State, beat Stanford. That's 1, 2, 3. I mean, hold on. That's 1, 2, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins. They might lose to UCLA, so that'll be 5-3. Or they might beat UCLA, and they might beat Oregon. Oregon State. Then they have Arizona and Washington State. They might go 8-4. That's highly possible. So, he turned it around quickly, and he's a beast, man. Speaking of, and somebody said something today which might make sense. Shador, his son, because Travis Hunter's not going to be available to 2025. If Shador stay another year, they could both go, especially if the quarterback class is weak and he keeps these numbers, like he's in a Heisman run in both years, or he might even say he wins the Heisman next year, whatever, right? He's probably going to be a top 5 pick. He might be the first quarterback off the board, right? So speaking of Travis Hunter, let me ask this question. He played 184 snaps. He had a game-winning interception, and he also had 119 receiving yards. He could have had more. If he didn't drop that 50-yard bomb, he could have had more. So, do you think that they're going to keep this 2-way? You think they're going to keep playing on 2-ways throughout the season?
probably so.
He's a baller.
At least until it's like it's not working anymore. I would assume, like, you can't just, if it keeps going, it keeps working. Like it's not the same as Shohei Ohtani, but you got a guy that can pitch and hit, which is kind of, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You got a guy that's playing both sides of the ball, which, I don't know the last time somebody's really played both sides of the ball in football for the most part. So it's cool to see, and it's a big time story, but is it really sustainable? It's gonna have to wait and see. We have to see what happens the rest of the season. Obviously, if he's slacking on one side, I wouldn't even. I would try until it's get to the point where he's just not. He's getting beat either by wide receivers when he's playing corner, or he's not able to catch the ball, or he's not able to beat the DBs when he's playing wide receiver, something like that. But I think they see a lot in him. and they know he can play both sides. So until he proves them otherwise, I think this is probably going to continue. Now his snaps might not be the same.
Yeah.
But he might not be getting that many snaps each game. But I think it's very feasible that he can go out there and hold his own on both ends of the field.
It's crazy because they said Deion was like, I can't. That's what he says. He said Travis Hunter's like me. He don't want to sit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was like, that is wild. I was like, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's excellent. I can't even there's nothing that I can say bad about what he did. And Deion said he could be a top pick. It's going to be interesting.
He was highly recruited coming out of high school, so the talent is there. It's just he went to and I don't know how much he got paid, but he went to Jackson State to follow Deion Sanders, and now he's at Colorado. He's at a bigger school, more well-known school, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. But the talent is definitely there.
Yeah, I mean, so you gotta the crazy thing is that Deion, oh man, Travis Hunter is he's like that, man. I don't know how long you keep it up, but the question is this: if Shedeur, his son, is a top 5 pick, and that team needs a coach, you know what I'm saying? Because he's never. Now, Deion said he's never going to coach in the NFL because he said that he likes working with kids. He says he thinks he can impact a person more on the college level than an adult, which I understand. So this is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be very interesting, man. So great for college football. And all right, Craig. So we're about to get into the NFL season, and why don't you go through your list of the top 5 quarterbacks with the most pressure?
All right, so this is just my list. It just reflects my opinions. Now, this is the first list of the season. I don't know what to name it yet. I'm still gonna try to think of a name or something. But for this list, I kind of cheated a little bit because I have a tie. Now, normally I don't do ties. I just try to go if it's 5 and pick 5. But I could not resist not picking 6. So my top 6 are basically a tie for 5th. But I have Lamar Jackson and I have Justin Herbert.
Ooh, okay.
I think both of those guys just got paid this offseason. Lamar went his way to get paid, and Herbert went his way to get paid. Really, he just didn't do anything. He just got paid. So they both went different ways to get paid. They both have had really no success. I think Lamar is 1-2 in the playoffs, and Herbert is 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a lot of that blame on his coach. You can put a lot of that blame on his defense that was supposed to be really good. I'm talking about Herbert here. Mm-hmm. Basically, both of them, because I mean, both teams have defenses that look good on paper, but the guys always get hurt. They don't show up. Same thing with if you look at Lamar, he didn't show up. He missed 12 games in the last 2 seasons. The season last year, and they could have probably won that game if he was there playing. It's unfortunate, but this is the situation, and this is the reality that both of these teams have to deal with. Now, I don't. The Chargers are in a position right now where Herbert he's one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, and it's a loaded AFC. Same thing with Lamar, but both of these guys have talent on offense, talent on defense, and they just have to find a way to get it done somehow. And after the 27-0 lead last year in the playoffs, and they blew that lead to the Jaguars, that just can't happen going forward. So I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl this season, but there is pressure on them to at least produce something in the playoffs. My number 4, I have Tua, just because Tua hasn't got his contract yet. He was drafted ahead of Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
They have weapons around him. They brought in some defensive players. The problem with Tua is he has his concussions. So if he can get through the season, when he was playing last year before he got hurt, the team was, I think he was undefeated as a starter until he got hurt against Cincinnati, I believe. So ever since then, it's been kind of wishy-washy, figuring out what he can do. And he missed the playoff game last year as well. They could have probably won that game if he was playing. He's still waiting to get paid. And this is a big year for him, because if he produces, I think he'll get paid. If he doesn't, or if he gets hurt again, concussions or whatever the case may be, I think the Dolphins might be looking for a new quarterback, possibly. My number 3 is Dak Prescott, just because he's with the Cowboys. Cowboys always have pressure on them, no matter who the quarterback is. So I was trying to leave him out, but I couldn't leave him out because he's the Cowboys. And the season that he had last year, it was embarrassing. So his worst season in terms of interceptions last year. So he has a lot to redeem coming up this season. The defense looks pretty good. They're in a weak NFC, so there's really no excuse not to get at least to the conference finals, the NFC Championship game. So it's right there for them. It's pretty much the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So 2 of those teams should at least wind up in the NFC Championship game. And Dak has to produce this season and just say that last year was just a one-off, and come back this year and be focused and put up numbers with those guys that they have on that offense. Number 2 is Josh Allen. For me, the Bills definitely always in this conversation. Team has all this talent around them. The only thing they've been really missing for the most part is a running game. They went out and got Cook. They went out and got Damian Harris. So they have 2 running backs. I mean, neither one of them are probably like a solid number 1, though we have to wait and see what's going to happen with Cook. But everybody else, they went out and got Dalton Kincaid. Now, Von Miller's probably not going to be there at the beginning of the season, but the offense still probably going to be a potent offense, one of the top in the whole NFL. So, and after what happened last year, or pretty much every year, they get bounced out in the playoffs, and they looked like they were defeated last year before the game even started when they played the Bengals. So, and then the whole blow up, obviously, with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So, hopefully they come back this season and they can get it rectified. And obviously number 1 is the Jets, man. I'm so sick of hearing about on the TV. It's the Cowboys and the Jets, and the Jets seem to get more hype, I guess, now, which is surprising because it's always about the Cowboys. But they have to figure something out here, because now they're talking about this could be the best defense since
I was going
the Seahawks, the Legion of Boom Seahawks, and I mean, they haven't even played it down yet. Like, we don't know what's going on. Then on paper, it looks good on defense.
It's crazy.
A lot of teams look good on defense on paper. Like, I thought the Chargers defense was going to be really good last year. The Ravens defense looks good. The Colts I thought was going to be good last year.
And the Ravens defense came on at the end, I think.
Yeah, they did, but I mean, they always go through injuries. You just never know how it's going to shake out. It looks good on paper, but that doesn't mean that's going to turn into results at the end of the day. So I know they have Aaron Rodgers. They went out and got Dalvin Cook. They have, all these guys on offense. He went out and brought some of his people in. So the team should win some games and the team should make the playoffs. But, like, I think for this team, it's Super Bowl or bust. You don't go out. I think so. You don't go. You don't go out and get Aaron Rodgers. And
they're talking too. They're talking.
You have all this hype for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in years. And the Giants are pretty much an afterthought now. They made the playoffs last year, won a playoff game on the road, and now they're not even talked about. You barely hear about them. And now it's all about the Jets. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough task because it's the AFC. But, like, to me, it's Super Bowl or bust, man. Brett Favre had the same issue. He had the same hype around it and all this. And, unfortunately, he got hurt. So, I don't wish that on Aaron Rodgers for him to get hurt. But this is it, man.
Let's go into this. I just want to ask you. This is I think a real thing. The first game, I just want to ask, what do you think their record is? Because you haven't gone to the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So their first 7 weeks is brutal. So they have the Bills on Monday night. Then they have the Cowboys. Then they have the Patriots. Well, Belichick's teams are always tough on defense. Then they have the Chiefs. Then they have
the Broncos.
Yeah. Then they have the Eagles. Then they have the Giants, who might feel a type of way because they've already been chirping. Then they have the Chargers.
See, I got them going. The first six games before the bye week is going to be tough. I got them going 3-3.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. If they go 2-4.
But then I got them winning. I got them going 8-3 the rest of the season. So I got them finishing 11-6, maybe 12-5. But I do think they definitely go into the playoffs.
They gotta be 3-3. If they are 1-4 or 2-6.
I don't.
Not 2-6, but if they're 2-4 or 1-5,
it's some tough games on there.
They're gonna fire Robert Saleh.
They're gonna fire him. Yeah, I think he's definitely possibly on a lukewarm hot seat, especially if this team doesn't produce, especially after how everything went down last year, and then they brought in Hackett as the OC. So, and obviously Aaron Rodgers and Dalvin Cook. So. The team is loaded. They look good on paper. Defense looks really good. It was good last year. Obviously, the offensive line is the biggest hiccup or biggest concern, I would assume. Yeah. But they got to produce, man. I mean, for a lot of these teams, like the Bills, I think is Super Bowl or bust. They're in that position too because they've been so close so many years, and they just haven't been able to even get there.
Yeah. This is gonna be interesting. So this is a work in progress, but right now this is called "Should I Push the Panic Button?" And I'm gonna say whether or not I think they should get pushed, or whether it's just like it's okay. Should I push the panic button with Joe Burrow not signing a contract yet? I'm not going to push the panic button, but it's just very weird that Joe Burrow hasn't signed a contract yet. It's just weird, Craig. Jalen Hurts signed it, then Lamar signed it, then Herbert signed it. And it was just more money than it was just more money than the other previous contract. They just one up. It's just weird. And I'm not going to say they're not going to franchise tag him. It's just a weird thing, you know. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, Mo? Mo's in the building.
What's up, fellas, man? My bad for tired. Just had to handle some work stuff.
Nah, it's all good, man. I'm just going over. Is it time to push the panic button? Is my segment. So I was just talking about how it's just weird that Joe Burrow hasn't signed a contract. I'm not pushing the panic button yet, but it's something to monitor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's something to monitor, and it's good. The Bengals are going to have to give him what he wants because it's not going to be a good look if you can't keep Joe Burrow, because you only get that a once in a lifetime chance to get a franchise quarterback that's good that he could possibly bring you a Super Bowl win. You want to keep him in the building as any means possible, any means necessary.
Oh, absolutely. But then you start to lose that relationship with Chase and then the others. So
yeah, because Chase is coming up with yeah. So, all right. So my other thing is I'm not going to push the panic button, or do I push it? The Chiefs, Chris Jones and Nick Bosa have not came to training camp yet, and they won't play the first game of the year. Very interesting story. People are talking about Chris Jones, but Nick Bosa hasn't showed up. Is it time to push the panic button? It's getting a little warm. It's getting a little warm, a little dicey because I mean they have really good teams. They both have really good teams and infrastructure. But word on the street is Nick Bosa wants to reset the market for all defenders. He wants $35 million a year. Chris Jones, they said from Kansas City, shout out to Nick Wright on First Things First. He said that it's about $9 million apart with Chris Jones. Chris Jones, it's a 2-year fully guaranteed extension. The Chiefs are offering $28 million a year, all guaranteed. He wants $32 million a year, 2 years guaranteed. So they're apart a bit ways, like maybe around 9-10 million. So I don't know. He wants more than Aaron Donald. They say Aaron Donald contract is an outlier, but I don't know. They both might. The teams might give in, but I'm not going to push the panic button yet. But it's just a very interesting story to keep your eyes on during the season because this is just the first time we're going to mention it. It's going to start creating some a little bit. And then my third one, back to the Chiefs because this news came out today. Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee. He might miss 2 to 4 weeks. Should we push the panic button or not? I'm not pushing the panic button. I think Patrick Mahomes, they're going to beat Detroit. Patrick Mahomes is crazy. His record is crazy. And first of all, he's 16-0 against the NFC. Second thing is his record is crazy. Like he doesn't lose openers. He's 5-0. His September and October record, he's like 7-1. So like Patrick Mahomes just doesn't lose during this time of year. And they have a soft schedule. I think that they're gonna beat the Lions. Now, when they play the Jets, Travis Kelce will be back by the 4th week because it's a 2 to 4 week injury. And they're gonna let him rest, right? Long bye because they play the first game. That's almost like a bye week. Then he'll come back probably week 4 against the Jets, and that's gonna be tough for them. So,
you know what? I'm surprised you didn't put in there.
But
Chase Young and Terry McLaurin, because I don't think neither one of them are going to play. They might. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That turf toe was rough, and what Chase got stinger right in the shoulder.
I don't think they need him to play to win, but
I mean, I don't trust him.
Turf toe is tough because it's one of those injuries that's going to go on all year.
Yeah, it is, but
it's going to go on all year. I told you what I think. I told you this, and I'm going to say it again. We're going to start off slow like we always do. We're going to be 2-4, and Ron Rivera is going to be fired. We're not going to start off hot. This isn't good. Our offensive line sucks, and Sam Howell doesn't have Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, we're going to beat Arizona. But that Denver game, that Denver game is I don't know, because this is our schedule. We got the Cardinals. Then we got the Broncos. The defense is really good. Then we got the Bills. Then we got the Eagles. That's a little mini stretch. Then it softens with the Bears and the Falcons. Then the Giants always play as hard. Then we got the Eagles again. And then we got the Patriots. And then we got the Seahawks. So I don't know. I'm not too enthusiastic about the Commanders right now. And I've been totally honest. They might prove me wrong, but we always start slow. And Chase Young is hurt. You know, you didn't extend him. That might have an issue with it. It is what it is. But Mo, what are your thoughts about Colorado?
Say about who?
Colorado, man.
Man, what a win. The energy there, it's just it's a moment when you bring the coach brings in, and I tell people like this: when you bring in talent and that talent believes in what's going on, it can do amazing things. You know, and you bring in people who are at the end of the day, they brought in talent. Like the kid Hunter, #1 recruit, what was originally supposed to go to Florida State, he flipped. You know, both his sons can flat out play. The kid they had at running back, he could flat play. He was I think a 4 or 5 star recruit, one of the top recruits in the country. The dude that scored 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
and it's Jimmy Horn Jr. I think that's
So you look at what they have. I think they have to get better defensively. Absolutely. I just don't think, because if you gave up that to a TCU offense like that, then I understand TCU's been known for scoring, but if I just don't know USC, I don't think how they played Travis Hunter, I don't think that's going to hold up, especially in a more physical game or in a climate. If you're playing like a USC or Oregon, especially how they play fast paced, I don't think he's going to hold up playing 100 snaps like that against them. I understand it was first game of the season. You got that adrenaline flowing, but I just don't see him playing that many snaps against a USC or Oregon, or when you facing a physical Utah team that's coming at you hard. I just don't see him playing that many snaps. But you know, it was something to see. It's something we haven't seen in a while. A dude go 2 ways like that and play at that kind of level. We haven't seen that probably since Deion almost. So even when we saw it from the dude came out of Michigan, he wasn't going hard like that. He was good on defense, but he really he wasn't electric on offense like that. Jabril Peppers. He wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like Mo, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's I think it's a big win. I'm excited to see what he does. You know, I'm excited to see how now the momentum goes. I hope they don't smell themselves, because they should be favored and beat Nebraska this week to start off 2-0. But if I'm not mistaken, I think their third game will be the Oregon to USC. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, you know, how they stack up and how they show up against those big time, you know, the big time within their conference.
Well, okay. I asked this to Craig. Okay, I brought up the schedule. Who do you have them losing to? Because I think they have Nebraska. I think that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
I think they beat Colorado State too.
Is that before they play Oregon or USC?
Yeah, that's before they play Oregon. I think they lose to Oregon.
Yeah, I
think they lose to USC.
Right.
But
I think they beat Utah. I think they can beat Utah. I think they can get Utah.
Yeah, I think they go 9 to 8 wins. It's not out the. It's very good.
That wasn't a game, and that wasn't a game ain't gonna be easy. That Oregon State game will be easy. Oregon State's a good football team.
No, Oregon State's a good football team, but they can beat Arizona State. They can beat Stanford. They might give UCLA some go.
Yeah.
Then they got Arizona, Washington State. They got Utah. This is bomb. Oh man, and shout out to the quarterbacks, because the crazy thing is the Pac-12 quarterbacks are crazy right now.
They got at least. Listen, they got at least. I say they got at least 3 to 4 that I think definitely are day or first, second round talents.
Listen,
like they got at least 4. There might be more, but at least 4 off my head that I say can play. That could be definitely for them.
I was listening to Colin Cowherd. He said that he texts 2 NFL. He texts 2 NFL execs, and they said that Deion Sanders looks like a first-round quarterback. That's what they said.
And what, he only a true? What is he a junior, sophomore?
Yeah,
junior.
I think what's going to happen is, which this makes total sense.
Right.
If I'm him, because Travis Hunter can't get drafted 2025.
Right. I stay 2 years. Yeah.
If he stays, they should be eligible for the 2025 draft.
Together, right?
Which is together. I mean, you got to think that he'll probably be a top 10 pick. Shador will probably be a top 10 pick.
Right.
He might be the first. If he puts together 2 seasons and wins a Heisman one, he's gonna be a top 5 quarterback. But if it might make sense to stay with Travis Hunter, and because Caleb Williams is going to be number 1. He's not going before Caleb Williams or Drake May or Bo Nix.
Right.
He's just not. You know? And that kid out of Washington, he's looking good too.
Shoot, even the dude from Notre Dame that transferred from Wake Forest is starting to put his name in.
The quarterback play is tough, man. So you know,
I feel sorry for what's name though.
Crazy.
I feel sorry for Marvin Harrison Jr. He's still gonna be a top 10 pick, but Lord,
he's gonna be a top 5 pick.
But with that quarterback play over there, I think he only had 2 catches Saturday. It's just terrible, man.
He's gonna be a top 2 pick. They say Arizona gonna draft Caleb Williams and draft Marvin Harrison because they're gonna have 2 top 5 picks. I was like, that'll be tough. Caleb Williams is throwing. He's throwing. I almost compare him, but I don't think he's a can't miss. I don't think he's a can't miss quarterback. I don't think he's a can't miss. I think you draft Caleb Williams. He's gonna be really good. I'm not saying Mahomes level, but he's gonna be really good, bro.
I mean, I think you got to put some. I think I think those. I'll say this though, you want to put some talent around him, though. Ain't nobody gonna come in day one and make everybody else around him better. Like, you gotta put some talent around him. This ain't college.
Of course, you gotta put talent around. Yeah, I agree with that. But if Arizona get him and Marvin Harris Jr.,
yeah, they got something to work with. They got something at least to start with.
That's tough. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't know, man. Caleb Williams he's making some Mahomes type throws, man. So it's interesting, man. So you know, I can't wait. So, guys, we're gonna talk about the NFL awards. All right. First, we're gonna go around and everybody who they think is gonna be the coach of the year, and then the comeback player, then the offensive player, and then yada yada yada. All right, Mo, coach of the year. Who's winning coach of the year this year?
All right. I'm gonna go with. Listen, I'm gonna go with Dan Campbell.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna give early reason why I'm gonna say that. Just an early keep it to my thing. I think they're gonna end up getting the 3 seed in the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be the 3 seed in the NFC, and I think that's gonna get him coach of the year. For where they've come from, the culture there where he's been building. I definitely can see him, Dan Campbell, being coach of the year.
Craig, who you got coach of the year?
I had Campbell, but I changed it to Peterson.
I was thinking about that.
I just think I had him at the 4th seed, but then I jumped him up to the 3rd seed. So I think they're going to be the 3rd seed in the AFC. So it's an easy schedule.
He's believing. Come on.
It's an easy schedule, so there's no reason why they shouldn't win 11, 12 games and win the division easily. But it was between him and Dan Campbell, but I went with Doug Peterson.
All right. Okay, guys. Mine is, you know how I like to mix things up a little bit. I did thought about Doug Peterson just based on the record. I did. That's not it. But I have them having a good record this year. And because I have them having a good record, I think Sean Payton wins coach of the year. I think because they're going to be 12-5, I think that Russ is going to look different. They lost. I mean, if they would have scored 20 points, they would have won like 9 games. They lost a lot of 1-point close games because missed clock management. That's what Minnesota went through. Minnesota did the same thing, and boop, they're gonna change some techniques, get more discipline, and they're gonna end up winning those games. I'm just saying. Sean Payton, Denver Broncos Coach of the Year. All right, Craig, Comeback Player of the Year. We got.
There's really nobody else except for DeMar Hamlin that came to mind. So
Oh man,
I don't even think he should even if he doesn't play in an NFL game. I think he should just come back.
Absolutely.
Man,
I would say the same. That's, him just making a roster, and even if he don't play or start a game.
Craig, you know, messed me up, man. Yeah, because he did. He made the team. He's the second free safety behind Michael Hyde. Dang, Craig. Golly. Mo, who you going with?
I gotta go there. I feel like it's a disservice if you don't go there. I feel like I'm trying to think anybody else who come back from an injury like not on that man.
That injury, that's tough. I would agree with you. I think it would be Don. Dang, I'm gonna be honest, man. I totally forgot. That's a good one. Did you have anybody else besides DeMar Hamlin?
Nope.
That's vicious. I mean, yeah. I gotta agree with that. That's.
I'm trying to think who else last year had like a major injury that's coming back.
Nobody. Well, Comeback Player of the Year also is people that turn their career around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, depending on it, we could say Kyler, we could say Russell, depending on, because this season was bad.
Let's say Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Because last year Geno won it, so.
Yeah.
But DeMar Hamlin's going to win it, especially if he plays and starts some games. And I can see him starting because Micah Hyde has had some injuries. I could definitely see him starting to get that award. All right. Offensive Player of the Year. This is an easy one. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I'm going Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to get Offensive Player of the Year, especially if Kelsey's not playing and he has to throw 40 times a game. And if you make Patrick Mahomes throw, he's going to have insane stats. He's going to have insane stats. If you telling me that he has to throw and rely on weapons besides Travis Kelce, and he doesn't have Chris Jones to clog up the middle. Are you telling me he doesn't have the ability to score 35 points a game? By the time Travis Kelce might come back, week 4 with the Jets, Patrick Mahomes might have like 12 touchdowns. Yeah. It's a possibility. High possibility. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have 12 touchdowns and like 2 picks or something like. Which is going to lead me into the other one. But I got Patrick Mahomes. All right, Mo, who you got? Offensive Player of the Year.
It's outside the box, but it's not outside the box. It's somebody very familiar to us. I feel like with a full season where he's at, especially with how they will need to use him with not knowing the consistency of the quarterback position.
Yeah,
I think Chris McCaffrey.
Oh,
I know it's that. I'm just saying. How they going to use him with that quarterback play, a full season healthy, knowing the playbook, the inconsistency at quarterback? I just think they're going to use him. They're going to use him in a variety of different ways this year. They have a scheme for him. I can see him putting up some huge numbers if he stay healthy.
Yeah, and he's not going to be. They're not going to run him. He's going to probably have 20, 25 touches.
Yeah.
He's going to be putting up. Who is yours, Craig?
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. I mean, they got a quarterback, obviously, that was hurt coming off. He was hurt coming off of an injury last season. Didn't finish the NFC Championship game, and I just think they're going to use him a lot, dumping the ball off out of the backfield, letting him run the ball. He can do everything. So kind of just give Brock Purdy a little bit of a safety blanket, I guess, a security blanket. Chris McCaffrey.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I almost picked him. This is all topic. I almost picked him second in fantasy. I almost did, yo. I was that close. I was that close. I was like, oh, let me go Chase, but I almost picked Christian McCaffrey. I think he's gonna have a phenomenal. Year. That but if you got Cooper Kupp on your team, don't be worried.
Yeah, hamstring.
Rams are going to be drafting a quarterback next year. That's all I'm saying. They're going to be drafting a quarterback. All right. Craig, defensive player of the year. We probably all going to agree on this. Well, no, it could be somebody else. Who you have?
I was going to go with Bosa back-to-back, but he's probably not. I don't know when he's going to come back.
Yeah.
So I went with Michael Parsons. I think if he can continue to play like he's been playing, and getting to the quarterback, the defense for the Cowboys should be good this year, especially in the secondary. So I think he's going to be able to wreak havoc, man. I got Parsons.
Man, that's what I got. I think I almost picked the Cowboys defense in fantasy. They were gone. I think they're going to have a good year. I think their defense is going to be really good. We're gonna go over our NFL picks later, but I've been telling this to Dallas fans. I got them going far in the playoffs, and I know I'm a Commanders fan, but I have to look at the sport overall as a whole, come at it from a non-biased position. Even though I dislike the Cowboys, you have to be honest. The NFC this time right now, the NFC is up for grabs. But anyway, I got Michael Parsons. Who you got, Mo?
I got the same. Especially looking at it now with the addition of Gilmore, I just feel like that secondary is gonna be tough to get open, and with them moving him around, how Dan Quinn uses him, and then you add another corner that can shut down, that can play press man. It's just gonna, I think it's gonna be a problem. I think he's gonna have a huge season. I think he's gonna win it. I don't know. I'm not gonna say running away because we always get somebody comes out of the woodworks with sacks and stuff like that. But I think he might win it. Depending on when Bosa comes back, he might win it going away. Especially Chris Jones holding out too. With Chris Jones out, we don't know who's coming back. Like, those are two people that are battling for it. I can't think of another person. Can we think of an outside the box person that maybe might get it from having picks, like a DB because of their picks? I'm trying to think.
Myles Garrett.
I don't know if Cleveland gonna win enough. He would have to have like a crazy sack total though.
If he breaks the sack year, if he gets 20 plus sacks,
yes.
If he breaks the sack record, but that's the only person. But I got Michael Parsons like winning it. That's a good point about Chris Jones and Nick Bosa, because Nick Bosa was here and then Chris Jones was right here, wasn't he?
Yeah, they was neck and neck. Well, I think Jones had 16 and a half sacks last year, 15 and a half, something like
15 and a half from the D tackle position. That's crazy. All right, Mo, offensive rookie of the year.
Oh, this a tough one. He's gonna play enough. He's gonna play enough. And I think he gonna grow and develop as the season comes along enough. I'm gonna say Bryce Young. I'm just a huge fan. I think he's gonna grow enough. I think he's gonna have his lumps, but I think he's gonna make enough plays and flash enough there, especially in the NFC South, who's really not known for defense, especially for that whole NFC South, who's not really known for top-notch defense. Outside New Orleans, I think he'll do well against Tampa and Atlanta. I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna thrash the league, but I think he'll make enough to get offensive rookie of the year.
Listen, I told you what I think the Panthers are gonna go. I'm on record of saying it. I think Bryce Young is that guy. I think he's really good. Who do you, Craig? Offensive rookie of the year.
I'm going Bijan Robinson. It's a safe pick.
Very safe.
So I'm just not convinced on these quarterbacks. I think they're going to struggle, especially since they're all getting thrown out there. At least 3 of them getting thrown out there right away. I don't think the Colts are good. I don't think the Texans are good. Panthers are probably the best of those 3 teams, but I don't have any. I mean, the other offensive line is just it's all over the place, and they don't have the wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I'm just not convinced on those two. I mean, on those three. So I'm going with Bijan. I think he's going to get the ball a lot, and he's going to have a phenomenal season.
I got him in my fancies.
So Craig, we're same in this. I think I'm gonna go. I think that this is a safe pick too. It's different than both of y'all, but it's like Robinson. I understand that. I'm going Jameer Gibbs. I think he might win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But that's safe. That's a real safe pick. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I think it's gonna probably go to a running back this year to show a running back some love. But yeah, I got Jameer Gibbs, man. I think they're gonna use him a lot in the offense, and with the Lions going to the playoffs, I think he's gonna be a phenomenal player. Craig, Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is interesting.
I don't even know what to go here, but I went with another safe pick, I guess.
Yeah.
I went with Will Anderson just because he's playing linebacker, so he's going to be out there running around the middle of the field, and he's going to be able to make plays. And I mean, for the most part, there's really nobody on that defense of note for the most part. The Texans they're just a bad team, bad franchise at this point. So they drafted him high for a reason. So I'm definitely gonna stick with that. Yeah, I think I'm going with that.
You know who I'm going? I'm going Jalen Carter. D tackle the Eagles.
I thought about him.
Yeah, I thought about Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson, but I think Jalen Carter is that dude. I think he's gonna win it. I think he's gonna be excellent, man. And the Eagles are just once again the Eagles. They're good. The Eagles, man, they're good. They're always good. Even if they got rid of Andy Reid, which is so crazy, and they won a Super Bowl. They go from Doug Peterson to Nick Sirianni. They go to Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts. They don't care, and they're good. They're a good team in the organization. All right, Mo, Defensive Player of the Year. Who you got?
I'm gonna go. Listen, I'm gonna go outside the box here. I'm gonna go inside the box. I'm gonna give me a sneaky. I'm gonna give a sneaky second person.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna go with Will Anderson because you have D'Amico Ryans who's gonna motivate him, who's gonna know how to use him.
Yeah.
D-Court gonna know how to use him, where to move him around, use his strengths. Maybe lower his weaknesses. Any weaknesses he has, he's gonna be able to hide them for at least a little bit while he develops them. But a sneaky pick I'm gonna go is Gonzalez from New England. I think Bill Belichick knows how to work corners. I think people are gonna try him enough as a rookie. I can see him having a decent year.
Man, okay. I'm gonna start off with MVP, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm going Patrick Mahomes. I think without the Chris Jones and without Travis Kelce, if they go 7 or 8-1, which I believe they can, or 7-2 without Travis Kelce, or if Patrick Mahomes goes 4-0 without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, he's going to be in the MVP conversation. He's going to be in the MVP conversation because it's now you're telling me that you're still good without Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Listen, only Brady was able to do that. I think Mahomes could definitely carry a team on his back. I think he's just one of the great ones. That's it. Mo, MVP. Mine was the easy pick. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, so because to me it's Prove It, and I feel like this year going in, it's easy to say Dak got the most pressure on him as far as quarterbacks, but I'm gonna go a half and half here. My top two that I'm going for this year is I'm going for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I just think that you get a contract like you have now, Buffalo, the pressure's on you. That ending, that wasn't a good look how Cincinnati dominated y'all like that. And then I heard it was arguing in the locker room with him and Diggs. Diggs didn't even want to shower with the team. Leave. I think either that's going to do one or two things. He's going to make you or break you. And I think that they're going to come out, maybe on fire, maybe going to come out and make a point that they're still relevant because a lot of people now don't even think they're the top in their division. Nevertheless, a top 2 or 3 team in the AFC anymore. So a lot of that chatter's gone around. So I think they're gonna be out to prove something. So I'm going either or, but my top would be Josh Allen, and then I'll have Lamar maybe second on my votes to possible MVPs.
Okay. Go ahead, Craig. Who you got for your MVP?
I have Joe Burrow.
Oh, okay. Somebody else picked him earlier too. That's a good one.
He hasn't got paid yet, which is kind of surprising. But I mean, this could be the last year that this group is together with these 3 wide receivers and Mixon. So the offensive line looks a little bit better, at least on paper. So I'm just waiting to see if this team is going to put it all together. They were so close a couple years ago, and y'all know how good Mahomes is. I mean, not Mahomes. Y'all know how good Burrow is. Yeah. So I think he's going to be able to put the pieces together and have a phenomenal season. And as long as he can stay healthy, then I think the contract will get done eventually, but his health is the most important thing, and I think they're going to be able to win some games.
Yeah,
got some numbers.
I like that pick. He has a good chance to win MVP this year. I like that. I hope he does. I got Jamar Chase on my fantasy. He has a big year. Chase will too. But this is going to be interesting. All right, guys. Last week, we went down list by list of what we think the NFL record's going to be and what teams we have in the playoffs. Now, let's talk about, if you remember your teams and the seeding.
We did the seeding last week? I don't think we did the seeding. We did the seeding last week?
Yeah, we did the seeding. So you got to go with the division winners.
Yeah.
And then you got to go the 5, 6, 7 seeds, which are all wild cards.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go to number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gotcha.
So, like, for instance, I got Kansas City as the 1 seed and San Francisco as the 1 seed. It could be San Fran or the Seahawks, but I'm leaning towards San Francisco. That's where I'm going. So right now I have for the AFC, right? I have the Baltimore Ravens, number 5, going up against the Miami Dolphins, the 4 seed. I have the Ravens winning that game. For the 6th seed versus the 3rd seed, I have the Broncos versus the Bengals. I got the Bengals winning that game. Then the 7th seed versus the 2 seed, I have Pittsburgh going against Jacksonville. I have Jacksonville winning that game. For the NFC, I have Seahawks at the Lions. I got the Seahawks winning that game. I got Dallas at New Orleans. I got Dallas winning that game. And then for my 7th seed, I got Green Bay versus the Eagles. And I got the Eagles winning that game. That's what I got so far in my first round of the playoffs. All right, Craig, who do you have in your first? Who do you have? And basically not the final 4, but who do you have out of your NFL team's prediction winning the first round of playoffs?
So in AFC, I got the 4-5. I got the Bills at 4. I got the Ravens at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Ravens actually beating the Bills.
Okay.
The 3-6, I got the Jaguars and the Jets.
Okay.
I got the Jets with the upset here. Well, I guess it could be an upset, but I mean,
seeding. It would be an upset.
I mean, in terms of seeding, but
okay.
I think the Jets win this game, and as a 6th seed, and the Dolphins are 7. The Chiefs, I got them at 2, and I got the Chiefs winning over the Dolphins to make the second round.
Okay.
Now, for the NFC, I have, and I'm not, okay. So I'm not confident in this. So 4 or 5, I got the Saints at 4, the Cowboys at 5.
Okay.
I got the Cowboys winning.
Okay.
3-6, I got the Lions and the Seahawks.
Okay.
The Lions are the 3, the Seahawks are the 6. I got the Lions winning. And
okay.
2 seed, I got the Eagles at 2, the Packers at 7. I got the Eagles winning.
Okay, we got a lot of same teams in there. All right, Mo, you ready?
All right. I have in the AFC, I have Cincinnati getting the number 1 seed, getting the bye.
Okay.
I have as 2-7 matchup, I have Kansas City versus Miami, 2-7 with Kansas City winning.
Okay.
In my 3-6, I have Jacksonville versus the Jets. I have Jacksonville winning.
Okay.
And in my 4-5, I have Buffalo versus Ravens with the Ravens winning. So that would put a second round matchup. That would put Cincinnati versus Baltimore, as Baltimore being the highest seed left.
Mm-hmm.
And that would put Kansas City and Jacksonville.
Okay.
Second round matchups.
The NFC.
And in the NFC, I have Philly getting the number 1 seed in the bye. In my 2-7, I have San Francisco beating Washington. I have Washington as my last seed in 2-7.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3-6. I have Detroit against Seattle. I have Detroit winning that. And then I have in the 4-5, I have New Orleans versus Dallas, with Dallas winning that game. So that would put Dallas as the highest seed left at Philly, second round, and that would put San Francisco at home against the Lions.
All right. So Mo, continue. Who do you have winning the divisional round in the AFC?
So I got Cincinnati winning and Kansas City making it 3 years in a row for them, but this time it will put Cincinnati at home.
Woo!
In the AFC Championship game.
All right.
Now, I know this is gonna sound crazy. I have Dallas beating Philly. And I have San Francisco beating the Lions, so it'll be Dallas versus San Francisco in the NFC Championship game in Dallas. I mean, in San Francisco, my bad, in San Fran, they the 2 seed.
Okay. All right. Oh man. Okay. So you have Bengals, Chiefs in
now San Francisco versus
Cincinnati, and then you got San Francisco and Dallas, and Dallas is in San Francisco.
Yep.
All right, Craig, who you got for the divisional round winning?
Okay. So the NFC or AFC, I'm sorry, I got the 1 seed the Bengals and the 6 seed the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Jets.
Oh, wicked!
I don't know why.
Man,
I'm not really buying into the hype, man. But they, I got
all right.
I got to make in the AFC Championship game, and they'll be playing the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs, the 2 seed, beating the Ravens, the 5.
Okay.
So I got the Jets and the Chiefs in the championship game, and in the NFC, I have the 2 seed, the Eagles. I got them losing to the 3 seed, the Lions, man. Give me the Lions. Yeah, that's right. Give me the Lions, man. NFC Championship game. I got them playing. I had them playing the Niners. I thought the Niners were going to beat the Cowboys, but now I'm thinking the Cowboys pull off the upset. They've lost to them twice in a row. I think they finally figured something out this year, and they go into San Francisco, knock off the 1 seed, and they make the NFC Championship game against the Lions.
All right, so you have the Jets and Kansas City in the AFC Championship game in Kansas City.
Yep. And the Lions and the Cowboys.
The Cowboys
and the Lions. But it's
the
in
Lions. Where is it going to be at?
It's in Detroit because Detroit's the
That's tough. All right. And for me, I have the upset. Jacksonville beating the Bengals. I'm telling you. Yeah. Then I got Baltimore Ravens versus Kansas City. I got Kansas City. Then I have the Seahawks at the Eagles. Another I want to do this so bad. But I'm gonna do it. Seahawks are gonna beat the Eagles and Lincoln Field Financial. And then the Cowboys are going to beat the 49ers. And so I have in the championship round, Kansas City, Jacksonville at Kansas City in Kansas City. And all right, and then I have Dallas in Seattle. All right, Craig. Who's representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, and who's representing the NFC in the Super Bowl?
I got the Chiefs over the Jets, and I got the Cowboys over the Lions.
Woo!
The Cowboys.
And Chiefs Super Bowl?
Huh?
Cowboys and Chiefs Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Mo, who do you have?
I went back and forth on this. I'm picking Cincinnati to go to represent the AFC.
Ooh, okay.
And I went back and forth on this one, but I think once again, I think that for the second year in a row, I think that quarterback play might get exposed in a championship game. I'm gonna go Dallas representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go Cincinnati versus Dallas.
Oh, all right, guys. My pick. I got Kansas City beating Jacksonville. And they're gonna have to pay Dak Prescott a bag. I got Dallas versus the Chiefs Super Bowl. That joint is gonna break TV records. That joint is gonna break. It's gonna break TV records. And I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl back from the first time since the New England Patriots did it. That's what I'm picking right here live in fourth quarter. Kansas City will win back-to-back Super Bowls. Craig.
I got the Chiefs.
We got the Chiefs winning back-to-back?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs 34-27.
Yeah. Oh shoot, we doing scores?
I did.
Oh, okay, I like that. I got the Chiefs. I think they put up 35-28. Chiefs. Mo, you're the only person.
I got Cincinnati over Dallas 27-20.
Oh, okay. So all three of us in agreement. Dallas is going to go to the Super Bowl.
But it's going to be great because they get. The fans get pumped up because they in the Super Bowl. Then they get crushed.
They're gonna get crushed.
Can you imagine Stephen A. Smith, man, if Dallas go to the Super Bowl and lose, and man, God forbid Dak play bad. Like, can you imagine him?
Oh, man.
How he gonna go?
They're gonna go. And here's a great thing though. Then they're gonna have to pay Dak a lot of money. They're gonna have to y'all haven't made the Super Bowl since how long ago?
96.
Jeez. That's coming up on 30 years?
Yeah, in a few years. Yeah, a few years.
Jeez. That's a long time. 30 years is the age of a person. That's a
nobody hold up, and nobody's won that division back to back since a long time, right? Nobody's won that division back to back.
Nah.
Nobody's won the NFCs back to back in a long time. Now, I think Philly gonna do it again this year, though. I do think Philly's gonna win the division again.
But I know I'm a Commanders fan, but Dallas is gonna have a year, and then they're not gonna win it and get crushed. But I'm gonna tell you that Super Bowl is gonna be the most watched Super Bowl probably ever. It's gonna be the most watched. Jerry Jones is gonna be hyping that joint up, man. But all right, guys.
There would be a highly watched Super Bowl.
It will be a highly watched Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of people watching that Super Bowl, man. So now to our final topic, and my favorite topic of all, and it does it every year. Who you got? Bam! That's I'm telling you, man. I love this segment. I love it because it's going to. I just thought about this today too. Next week we're gonna start adding upset alert. We're gonna have a segment. We're gonna pick one team that's an egregious upset and why. We're gonna do that next week. We're gonna do it right before who you got. It's gonna have to be because listen, you know the games we do on who you got are games that everybody's gonna want to see. So most times, I mean, there might be some upsets on there, but you know, when I'm talking about ridiculous, I'll give you one. This is an example of upset alert. If you think the Colts are going to beat the Jags, that's what we're talking about. So next week we're going to have that segment upset alert.
Yeah, I got Trevor Lawrence. I got Trevor Lawrence on my fantasy. I think he's going to light it up, boy.
Oh yeah, he's going to light up. No, that's just an example. Every week is going to be a crazy upset. We're just going to see who's going to be on the upset alert. All right. So, Mo, I'm starting off with you. Who you got? We're talking about offense, better matchup of offense, better matchup of defense and coaching. Who's going to win the game and why? Boom, Mo. Start off with the Lions and the Chiefs.
Oh, Lions and Chiefs. Coaching. I'm definitely going to go with Andy Reid. It goes without saying, no disrespect to Dan Campbell. He has done an amazing job with Detroit, but that's Andy Reid, man. I think he's already in top 5 coaches of all time category, and if he wins another Super Bowl, we might have to start really having discussions. Yeah. I mean, I know Belichick has 7, but if Andy Reid win another one with what he's done with multiple franchises, it's just amazing. You know what he's done. Offense. Listen, I know Detroit can be explosive, but until you show me something otherwise, I'm gonna go with Mahomes. I can't pick nobody over Mahomes right now, especially Jared Goff. I gotta go with Mahomes right now. And the Chiefs offense, I think their rookie from last year showed some flashes in the Super Bowl. Pacheco in the playoffs. I think that's his name. I forgot his last name. But their rookie running back, he's going to show some flashes again this year.
Yeah, Pacheco.
I think Sky Moore. is going to have a upgraded season, and then you add in Tony from the Giants. I think now him having a full off season there, I think he's going Jadarius Tony. I think he's going to have a good year, and they're going to have an offense that knows how to feature him. Defense right now, I'm gonna shock some people, but with Chris Jones not there right now, possibly one, I'm gonna go with Detroit. I think with Hutchinson's due for a double-digit sack season. I think they added some pieces in the offseason, man. I think they're gonna make some noise defensively right now. And winning this game, you know what? Hey, listen, I like to have fun with this, man. I'm gonna go with a Thursday night shocker. I'm gonna go Detroit 27-23. I think they're going to try to come out balling. I think that Chris Jones injury, not being there is going to show up in this game. Him not being there to clog up the middle and get a pass rush. And Kansas City really hasn't been known for a pass rush outside of Chris Jones. So for him not to be there, I think it's going to give extra time for Jared Goff to find the weapons. And I can see them pulling this off 27-23.
All right. Okay. Craig. Lions versus Chiefs, who you got? Oh. Muted.
You know he muted? Craig, know he muted? Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Craig, you know he muted.
Yeah. I was like,
my bad, man. So offense, coach, I'm going Andy Reid. That goes without saying. Offense. I'm going with the Chiefs, but it's only because of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure what the status of Travis Kelce is at this point. I don't know if he's going to play. If he does play, I don't know how effective he's going to be.
Yeah.
So until I hear that, it's a little bit harder for me to make this pick, but I'm still sticking with the Chiefs. Man, it's close though. Because I know how explosive this Lions offense was last season, and I know how good they can be. So, and I think they're going to be really explosive again coming up this season. So, but yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs slightly. Defense, I know Chris Jones is out, but that Lions defense was horrible last year. I know they kind of upgraded, I guess you could say. They added some pieces, but they gave up so many yards. I think they were the worst or the second worst team in terms of giving up passing yards last season. And I know that there's no Travis Kelce might not play, but there's still Mahomes is going to find guys. It doesn't matter who it is. He makes guys out of nobodies. So I think he's going to be able to carve up that Lions defense. I think eventually, the Chiefs are getting the Lions at the right time. Early in the season, they're not. Jameson Williams is not there, or Jameson Williams, or whatever his name is, who got suspended for the first 6 games. He's not there. The offense is going to take a little bit of time. The defense is definitely going to take some time to get together and gel. I think if this game happened in like week 9, I might have a different outcome, or I might feel a little bit different about it in general. But I'm still sticking with the Chiefs here. It's going to be, I think it's going to be probably a high-scoring game, regardless of Travis Kelce's status or not. But I'm going Chiefs 31-23.
Yeah. So
24.
I'm going with, okay, who you got? Best coach. Okay, we're gonna do this. This is easy, Andy Reid. I just think Dan Campbell he just doesn't have the legs. Andy Reid, by the time Andy Reid retires, he's gonna be one of the greatest coaches ever coached the game. That's just what he is. That's just what it is. It's kind of like picking somebody over Belichick. It's gonna be really hard for that. Same with Tom. It's just some coaches are great. Offense, I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. Let me just look up this stat that I want you, since 1970, the merger. Patrick Mahomes is 13-2. This is his record in September. He's 13-2, 322 yards, passing yards a game, passing yards per attempt, 8.7. Passing touchdowns, 48 to 3 interceptions. Passer rating, 122. He's really good in September. And it's against Detroit. And I think he's going to put up numbers against Detroit. People not talking about this enough. Kadarius Toney is back. He's going to be balling. Sky Moore has another year. Watch Mahomes work in this pocket. Defense. I got to go with Detroit. But just don't sleep on the Chiefs' defense either. Jared Goff is not a good road quarterback. Kansas City's going to be jumping. Just don't take out Kansas City's defense. They might get a big turnover, because it is Jared Goff. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So I'm gonna go with the Lions, but it's very close, I think. I know they're missing Chris Jones, but they still had 55 sacks last year. That was second in the NFL. I'm just saying, don't think this is gonna be like a shootout. Don't be surprised if Goff throws a pick or two, because Kansas City is going to be loud. They're dropping banners and giving out Super Bowl rings. It's going to be loud. I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning. I got them winning 35-24. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think Jared Goff is going to make a mistake. I like Jared Goff, but he might make a mistake, and I got Chiefs capitalizing on that. And if you make a mistake against Mahomes, he's going to make you pay for it with a touchdown. That's just how he is. All right, Craig, 49ers versus Steelers. Who you got?
Oh, man.
This is a good game, too. I want to watch this.
Excuse me. Coaching, Oh man, it's close.
It's close.
I'm going Tomlin slightly.
Okay.
I'm going Tomlin. He's never had a losing season. He's one of the best coaches, I think, of all time, at least in the NFL. Probably, I got him in my probably top 10, just because of what he's done. He hasn't won all the Super Bowls and things like that, but he's never had a losing season. I mean, that's hard to do in the NFL. So I gotta give it to him slightly. I think Shanahan, for the job that he did last season, though, goes. I mean, you can't put that in the words how everything happened, and he was able to had that team persevere and get to the NFC Championship game with the last pick in the draft. But I'm just going slightly with Tomlin. Offense, man, this is tough. Offense, I'm going 49ers again slightly. The quarterbacks are kind of even. I think both guys have some room for improvement. I know Kenny Pickett does. They have some good wide receivers there. Deontay Johnson didn't even have a touchdown last year. So that's kind of shocking to be a number one wide receiver and not have a receiving touchdown. Pickens is going to be there. Pickens is back. He should have a solid season. I like Fairmouth. And on the other side, and then you got Najee Harris as well. And on the other side, you have Debo and Brandon Ayuk and Kittle and CMC. So they kind of match up really, really well. Just the skill positions and the quarterbacks. Offensive line, I'm going slightly with the Niners, but both lines are they should be really good. The defense, again, I'm going with the 49ers. I'm sticking with the Niners. I know they don't have Bosa, but it's gonna be it's really close, man. But I'm just slightly sticking with Bosa. I mean, sticking with the Niners defense. This game could go either way. This is gonna be tight, man. I think the Niners are only like a 2-point favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe if Bosa was there, they might be like a 4-point favorite or something like that. We don't know. But man, this is gonna be an interesting game. I don't feel confident about it at all. I'm going 49ers 23-19.
All right. I have for coaching, I think it's close. I'm gonna go with Tomlin. He's never had a losing season. Once again, I think this year they are. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are really good. I think they're going to surprise some people this year, and I think that's just a testament to Mike Tomlin's coaching. Offense, I gotta go with San Francisco, just because they have Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Debo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk. They're proven. They've done it. Even though Pittsburgh has Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, like you said, San Francisco's offense is more proven. We've seen what they look like, and they look good. So I got to go with San Francisco's offense. And Pittsburgh could be there. We don't know. I got to go with a guaranteed product, and that's San Francisco's offense. Defense, Bosa's not going to be there. San Francisco still has all pros at each level. But I think Pittsburgh defense is going to be special. I think I'm picking the Steelers because I think if Bosa was there, I'll pick San Francisco. But I'm picking the Steelers because of Watt. He's going to be there wrecking havoc. And he's going against Trent Williams, though. But, TJ Watt is a beast. So he was hurt for 9 games last year. So, I mean, if he's definitely going to be healthy for this game. So, I mean, I just got the Steelers defense. Overall, I got the Steelers winning this game. I got them pulling up, man. I got the Steelers winning 24-20. And they're gonna shock some people. All right, Mo. 49ers versus Steelers. Who you got?
Coaching, I gotta go Mike Tomlin. I know, just the record speaks for itself. I know Recently, Shanahan's had better records, better records, or but just the work, that Mike Tomlin has done with less, it's just been remarkable. So I just really, I really want to give kudos to him. I think it's what he's done with that, especially losing players and with the expansion of stuff. I just feel like, man, he's done some stuff. So I go Mike Tomlin. Offense. I'm gonna go San Fran. I mean, just too many pieces from Pittsburgh is just just haven't done it yet. We just got to see it on consistent level. Outside of Najee Harris, who I think is going to have a good year. I think Najee Harris is going to have a better year with them upgrading that offensive line. I think he's going to have a better year. But like Craig said, you got a wide receiver, number one receiver who had one touchdown catch last year. Pickens is going to improve. I like that tight end from Penn State. I think he's going to have a second season, a great season. But now let's see if Kenny Pickett improves. Defensively, for the same reasons you said, James, I'm gonna go with Steelers. Just looking at their roster, man, you have people who they still have talent, major talent there. With Watt, you got Haywood, you got Minka, you got Minka Fitzpatrick, and then I think Porter's going to have a very good year. Man, I think he's going to play motivated, playing for the same team his father played for, and then a lot of people had him as a first round pick. I don't know what people had against him. Him dropping to the second round, but I think he's going to use that, and I think Tomlin's going to use that to motivate him. I think Tomlin's going to use that to motivate him. Like, hey, look at these other corners that you balled against, or look at these other people you balled against, but yet still you went second round. I think Tomlin's going to use that as a motivation tool for him. If I'm looking at his depth chart right now, they got him starting. On the outside corner.
I just saw that too.
I think he could have a good year. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna say Steelers defense.
And Mo, they've been missing that too in their defense.
Yeah, and then they got one of our former players, man. They got Holcomb.
Yeah, I like Holcomb, man.
Yeah, I love Holcomb, man. I don't understand for what reason we thought our linebackers got that better for him not to be playing. That's threw me off. But hey, I'm gonna listen.
And they got Patrick Peterson. He not starting.
Yeah, but they got him as a backup though. I don't know what you want. He must be the nickel corner. But I'm gonna go. Listen, I haven't seen what Brock, but the little bit I've seen of San Francisco quarterbacks was not really good in the preseason. I know a lot of people don't lean on preseason, but right now I think coming out, the rumors there, Steelers know what it's going to be. Right now, if this was later in the season, seeing some stuff, I definitely would go and maybe I might go say a blowout if you're talking about middle of the season. But right now, not knowing what quarterback situation looking like in San Fran solidly, I'm gonna go Steelers, man, in a defensive dogfight. I'm gonna go 23-19. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Man, I'm looking at their depth chart. They got some interesting people I didn't know that they had. That's interesting. Huh? They got Kawan Alexander too. Interesting. Very interesting. They got some depth. That's always a good thing. All right. Dolphins versus Chargers. I'm gonna start out with this one. Coaching. I'm gonna go with Brandon. No. I'm going with the head coach of the Dolphins. Hold on, it just came to me. What's his name? I don't know this. Golly.
Come on, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, yes. Got away from me. Mike McDaniel, yes, the Dolphins head coach. I would give it over to him because they still made the playoffs without Tua, and they still play Buffalo close. Brandon Staley is on a lot of people's hot seat, including mine. I don't think the Chargers keep him. Mo has said it over the years. Craig has said it. So coaching, I gotta leave Mike McDaniel. Defense, I'm gonna go Dolphins. I think Vic Fangio makes that much of a statement. Vic Fangio always has top 10 defense, top 5 defenses. I know they lost Jalen Ramsey, but they still got a good defense. And their defense is going to be better than what I think what is on paper. And I don't think people talk about their defense enough. Like they're going to be good. They got Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb on the outside with Vic Fangio. They got Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis in the middle. And I know, they got. I know he's bad, but Eli Apple's a decent nickel corner. They got Xavier Howard. They got Javon Holland. I'm just saying, and they I think their defenses doesn't get talked about enough. I think the Dolphins' defense is going to be better than what people think. And offense, you talking about a healthy Tua? I'm going Miami's offense. And I know Miami is. You see where I'm probably leaning on who I'm going to pick to win, but Tua is not a. Justin Herbert might be a better quarterback than Tua, but Tua has better weapons. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, as proved last year, they're one of the best receiving corps in the entire NFL. Tyreek says he wants to get 2,000 yards. That's highly possible this year if Tua is healthy. So I think they just have a better offense. And then you have Raheem Mostert, is a running back. He's a really good running back, man. So I'm just saying, watch out for Miami this year. And I got the Dolphins beating the Chargers 28-21. And then the seat starts to sizzle. Mo, Dolphins versus Chargers. Who you got?
All right, coaching wise, I'm gonna go McDaniels. Chargers coaches, late game management, clock management has just been terrible at times. His decision to always go for it. So I'm gonna go with McDaniels coaching. Offensively, I'm gonna go with the Chargers offensively. I get Tyreek Hill, I get Waddle, but man, we gotta look at what Justin Herbert has done over his first 2 seasons, 3 seasons or 3 seasons. Austin Eckler, you go with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams if they can stay healthy. And then I like the dude they got out of TCU, Quentin Johnson. I think if they work him in the slot and possibly move some stuff around, that's a lot of size out there that you can just do jump balls and really they got the advantage. I like Everett, they tight end. Offensive line wise, I like Slater. So I think I'm gonna go there. Defensively, I'm gonna go Miami. I agree, James, with you with their people on defense. I think Chubb's gonna have a great year. You go like you said, you go Chubb, you go Howard, you go a lot of other ones. With that edge rush, I think the dude Phillips that came out of Miami, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. He's gonna have a big year. So I think they're gonna have a big year defensively, even with the injury to Ramsey. That's not for the season, is it? Ramsey's coming back, correct?
Late December, I think. December.
So if they're still cooking, if they're still in a playoff position and still cooking and they're able to get Ramsey back and Ramsey's able to come back, I think that's gonna be I think that's totally gonna be different, man.
So who do you have? What did you say the score?
This is where I'm gonna go with it. I got Dolphins winning. I already got Chargers not making the playoffs. I have Dolphins making it as a 7 seed. So it'll be hard pressed for that tiebreaker. I'd be hard pressed for me to pick the Chargers. So I'm gonna go Miami. I think clock management. I think Miami's gonna sneak away with it at the end. I'm gonna go Miami 24-27. I mean, my bad, 27-24.
Okay. Craig, Dolphins versus Chargers. Who you got?
Oh, shoot. Coaching, I'm definitely going with McDaniel. I can't really pick Staley at all after what he's been doing to that team. Offense, I'm going with the Chargers. I like Hill and I like Waddle. I definitely like Waddle. Tua, when he's healthy, he's really good, but I think Herbert is better than him. I think they have a better running game. I think they have a better offensive line, especially if Slater's there and he's healthy. And I think they have 3 really good wide receivers. The problem is their 2 veterans can't stay healthy. If those guys are healthy throughout the whole season, maybe the Chargers season is a lot different coming up this season. Maybe last year it would be different as well. But yeah, I definitely have the Chargers offense. I just think that the Dolphins are missing a running back. If they had got Dalvin Cook, and it could be a different story. But they got Mostert, they got Wilson, and they got the rookie. I don't know how to say his last name, Aiken or something like that. They got 3 solid running backs, but I mean they're just not. None of them are starters, basically. So the defense, I can't pick the Chargers defense. It looks good on paper, or at least it did last year, and they really disappointed me. So I have to go with the Dolphins, even without Ramsey. I just think that they have really good players at each position. Holland, Howard, they have Wilkins, Chubb, Phillips, so Jerome Baker, I believe. So they have a lot of really good players. I just don't believe in J.C. Jackson like I did coming into last season. I don't even know if he's even healthy, honestly. Bosa's there, obviously. So they have guys on that defense, but Derwin James is a monster, but it's just too much, man. And I just don't. I'm not buying that Chargers defense again until they can prove it to me coming up this season. So the game is in L.A. You know what? Give me the Chargers at home. I don't even know what I had my thing up and I took it down. Give me the Chargers at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Chargers 27-23.
Okay. All right. So, Mo, Eagles versus Patriots. Who you got coaching?
Coaching, I mean, you gotta go overall body of work. I mean, it's hard for me to do I know I'm a what you done for me recently type person, but it's Belichick. I can't give that. I can't be disrespectful like that. I know some people say what you done for me lately, but just overall, I'll take Belichick. In the coaching matchup, I'll take Belichick. Offensively, of course, I'm gonna take the Eagles. It goes without saying, just across the board, Jalen Hurts. You got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, Goddard, and the running backs now they got Miles Sanders. It's just not Miles Sanders, but they got Swift now, and it's just a advancement of riches at that position. Defensively, once again, I'm gonna go with Philly. It's just all across the board. It's just crazy. They brought back some people they can bring back up. The defensive line is gonna be crazy this year with Carter and in the front seven, Nolan Smith and all those others. How I gotta put it. I want to give respect to Bill Belichick, and I'm glad they brought a true offensive coordinator in there. But just their offense, unless Philly just comes out there sleepwalking, like sleeping or whatever, I kind of feel like this could get ugly. This could get ugly because of their offense, and I think Philly. I hope Philly doesn't have the Super Bowl hangover, like teams we've seen they lose the Super Bowl and the next year they struggle. I can see Philly. I can see Philly winning this at least by double digits. So I'm gonna go Philly 35-21.
Man. All right, Craig, Eagles versus Patriots. Who you got?
Yeah, coaching. I would love to say Belichick just because of the body of work, everything over time. But now it's like last couple seasons just hasn't been there, especially after last year without even having a offensive coordinator. I don't know what that was about. So I got to go with Sirianni, the job he did last year, getting the team to the Super Bowl. They should be the favorite coming into this season as well. So I'm picking them. Picking him as the coach, the favorite for this coaching matchup. Offense, it's the Eagles. I don't even know what the Patriots are. I mean, they haven't really surrounded Mac Jones with any offensive talent for the most part, at least in the receiving game. They went out. I remember when they went out and they got Henry and Matt Judon, I believe, and everybody was, okay. But and then like the wide receivers, they just weren't there. They went out and they got Juju, which is nice, but I think they could have done better to help bring him. Like you look at some of the other guys that were in his class, and it's just like, why did you like? Even if you take Trey Lance, like he didn't play or whatever it is, but he still had talented receivers around him. Now, granted, that team did trade up and all that, but it's just like the Patriots just don't value wide receivers, and they seem like they never, other than Randy Moss. It seems like I can't really name. I don't know who their best wide receiver was during that stretch, like maybe Deion Branch or something like that during that stretch when Brady was there. So,
yeah,
Eagles offense is really. I mean, I like Swift. He just has to stay healthy. I like Penny as a backup. He had to stay healthy as well. They have a lot of key pieces there on that offense. It's kind of, I agree with what Mo said. They might have a Super Bowl hangover and they come out a little sloppy. So they gotta put their foot on them because their team is way better than the Patriots. On the defense, it's kind of even, but I'm going with the Eagles. I think the pickups that they made, at least with the kid who slipped the 10, Jalen Carter. Yeah, him slipping. I think that's a big lift for that defense. They got a lot of older guys on that line, but they're still putting up numbers in terms of getting to the quarterback or pressures or hurries or whatever you want to call it. So the Patriots always have a really good defense. Everybody knows that. That's what their team's been pretty much built on. But I got to go with the Eagles here, man. And for this game, I'm definitely going to Eagles again. I got them 31-14.
All right. Coaching. I know what I said earlier about coaching. Belichick should be there, but I gotta give it to him. But he made some bad decisions, man. By putting, the funny thing is, I agree with both of you guys. Where it's just, let me get to the coaching. I'm gonna pick Nick Sirianni. He's just coming off a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, and they almost beat the Chiefs, but they didn't. And I think that Nick Sirianni just did a better coaching job last year than Belichick. Belichick hiring Joe Judge and Matt Patricia to coach a quarterback was ridiculous. We all said it was ridiculous. Bill Belichick, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know how it made sense to him when everybody was telling you don't do it. I know you know more than everybody, but you don't. So, with that said, offense, I gotta give it to the Eagles. Listen, they're gonna start slow, but they got. I don't want to say this is, if we look at Philly's schedule, right? If we look at their schedule and see who they play now, if the Patriots beat them, I'm not going to understand it. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Juju Smith-Schuster, but he's not a number one receiver. He's not. Then there's reports. Doctor says Meek can explode at any time. Don't know where that came from, but that's not good because Mac Jones has no offensive weapons to pass into. And it's ridiculous that he's not getting any support. So I definitely agree with both of y'all on that. It's just wild. Even Patrick Mahomes had weapons in his career.
And I mean, nobody's really jumping to, unless you show something dynamic offensively, nobody's really jumping to come to New England right now because it's still not. No. And New England showing they're not going to jump out there and pay crazy for a wideout necessarily. So it's like.
They got to get with the seasons. They you know what? They have so much under the cap. They're going to sign DeAndre Hopkins and they're going to sign Dalvin Cook. If they had DeAndre Hopkins as Dalvin Cook, I would be like, they're going to make the playoffs. You have a true number one, Juju's the number two, and you got Ramon Stevenson, who I know a lot of people love. Then you got Dalvin Cook. that just makes your offense better, and you're giving Mac Jones the weapons. So I got to go with the Eagles just because who the Eagles have on offense. You got Jalen Hurts, who's back. They added DeAndre Smith. They have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Like their offensive line is old, but they've been together for a long time. Jalen Hurts is not going to really get touched. So that's the offense. Defense, I got the Eagles. I mean, they got Jalen Carter coming in. They got Fletcher Cox, who's coming back. He's a Hall of Famer. You got Brandon Graham, who's always going to give you quality sacks. Then they got Josh Sweat. Like they have Hassan Reddick, who's back. They got Badbury, who's back. Darius Slay. Like their defense is good. This is gonna be one of the best teams. And I know they're coming off of maybe a Super Bowl hangover, but if they start out slow, they're gonna win. They're gonna win a lot of games this year. Just because I just think Jalen Hurts and that team is stacked. It's stacked. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's gonna be 28-17. They're just gonna put a hurting on them. All right, Craig, last one. Bills versus Jets. Monday Night Football. Who you got?
Okay, so
Okay.
coaching, I got to go McDermott. I think both of these guys, we said it last week, they're kind of on that, not really a hot seat, but it's somebody's, got the fire going just a little bit. And this could be a make or break season for one of these coaches just because McDermott's been there so many times. Got to see him to the playoffs, but he can't get the team over the hump. And Robert Salah is just so much hype around this Jets team. But his team didn't make the playoffs last year. They had a really good defense, but their offense was terrible. You go out and you get Aaron Rodgers, so we'll see what happens this season. But I'm going McDermott just because of the history. Offense, I'm sticking with the Bills just because I've seen it. We'll have to wait and see. I know Aaron Rodgers was in the system with Hackett in Green Bay, and it worked out. It was successful, and he's bought some of his receivers here or to New York. And so you would think, that camaraderie would still be there, but it takes they might take a little bit of time for that team to warm up. But the Bills, even though Stephon Diggs had his blow up last season, they still have one of the best offenses in the NFL. And even though they still don't have, a true running game or a true number one running back as of yet. We'll have to see. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I'm still going with their offense. I do like Dalvin Cook. Breece Hall's coming back from injury. He should be ready. But I'm going with the Bills just because they're proven. Defense, I'm going with the Jets slightly. I like both teams. The Jets have a great front led by Quentin Williams. Had a phenomenal season last year. Sauce Gardner had a really great season as well. They've pretty much got, I'm not gonna say that they're the 85 Bears like they've been saying, or somebody from that team's been saying.
Well, I don't know.
But or the Legion of Boom, but they have a really good defense on paper. As long as
those teams have Hall of Fame people on them, they are this is a stretch.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. So it's kind of, I wouldn't never put my that right there. You're basically putting your foot in your mouth if you don't win.
Yep.
Or if your defense just doesn't show up like you want them to show up. So, it's tough. Both defenses should be really, really, really good this season, but I'm slightly sticking with the Jets. For this game, I think it should be a really good game. There's so much hype around the Jets, and they got a tough schedule. Or at least the first 6 games before their bye week, they got a really tough stretch.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm sticking with the Jets here to pull out a win. I think it's going to be close, but I think they pull it out slightly, 29-27.
Ooh. All right. Bills versus Jets. Coaching, I gotta go Bills. I gotta go Sean McDermott. I understand that I agree. I agree with Mo. When Mo said this back in the day, he's been saying it for a minute. I gotta give him his credit. He was on top of this. And they can make the playoffs and still make a coaching change. That's a high possibility. But I give it to Sean McDermott. He's been there. He's been to an AFC Championship game. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. Bottom line. Offense, I gotta go with. I know the Jets added Aaron Rodgers and Dalvin Cook, but I gotta go with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I know Garrett Wilson might be it, but Stephon Diggs is it. He's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. And Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback. I got to give it to them. And let's not talk about Dalvin Cook's brother, James Cook, might have a good season. He might have a real good season, man. I just think that Bills' offense is better. Defense, I like the Jets D. They're making ridiculous statements. I don't understand this hype for this Jets team is if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be ridiculous. But it's just a lot of hype. When that player came out and said that, when DJ Reed said that, first of all, you're basically saying Super Bowl or bust because both of those defenses won the Super Bowl. The 85 Bears won the Super Bowl, and he forgot to mention the 2000 Ravens. So 2000 Ravens won the Super Bowl, 85 Bears won the Super Bowl, and Legion of Boom won the Super Bowl. Legion of Boom had Richard Sherman on it, who's probably a Hall of Famer. You would agree, right? Cam Chancellor was probably the best, hardest hitting safety in the NFL. Bobby Wagner's a Hall of Famer, probably first ballot. And Earl Thomas, who was on track to have a Hall of Fame career, and then all of a sudden he got into some issues. But he was on track to have a Hall of Fame career. Don't compare. I get Sauce Gardner. I get Quentin Williams. But when you start comparing great defenses, you got to chill. You're not even the best defense in your division. You got to worry about that. No, I don't think they're better than the Bills defense. I think the Bills defense is better than them. Even though they're missing Von Miller. We know this. The Bills always have a good defense, and they're going to get after the quarterback. And that's going to be a test for Aaron Rodgers. He might not have time. And I'm going to tell you this. The older quarterbacks get, the less they want to get hit. Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to want to get hit, and he's going to get frustrated. He can't put your team on the back like he used to because he's a little older. So I'm just saying, I think Buffalo Bills win this game. And you got to understand, all Buffalo keeps hearing is all this hype with the Jets. DJ Reed talking about we got the best defense. Teams are going to try to shred them. So you got to be careful. This is the NFL. I think they're going to put their foot in their mouth. I think the Bills win big. I think they win 35-17 in the statement game. All right, Mo. Bills versus Jets. Who you got?
Coach, I'm going to go with Sean McDermott. Just better overall record. Both, like Craig said, both on the hot seat, but got to go with Sean McDermott. Mm-hmm. Offense. I'm going Buffalo. I'm going to go for a different reason. I mean, I like what you said about James Cook, but at a tight end, I think Buffalo will be able to go more 2 tight end sets. Mm-hmm. They brought in the tight end rookie out of Utah, Kincaid, And then Dawson Knox has always been solid. I think that could open up the run game, and then that could open up the play action and get Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs more looks. Defensively, man, I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm sorry. I just think more weapons or more solid players who have done it at a more consistent rate. If you look at a Oliver, a Greg Rousseau, you look at Davis White at corner, you look at Jordan Poor and Micah Hyde, people who have done it at a high level for a lot of years. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I pick Buffalo to win this division. I know he can lose this game and still win the division, but I think they're going to start out strong in the gates. I do think Jets are going to come out strong, but for me, I'm going to say, man, I'm a pressure-based pipe person. That's a lot of pressure when you don't make too many other all-season moves, but you say you're only a quarterback away. So that means you felt like everything else you had on that roster was Super Bowl worthy outside of quarterback. So I want to see what that pressure builds, and I'm going to go Jets. I'm going to go Bills. My bad. I'm going Bills. I'm going to say Jets come out strong. It's a AFC East is a division game, but I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to go double digits, though. I'm going to go Bills 30-20.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. There's some good games. So, yeah, guys.
Yeah, let's log in.
The end of who you got. I can't wait for this NFL season. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to college football. I can't wait to watch Deion again, and maybe some other big games this weekend. Can't wait for the NFL on Thursday, and then again the NFL. So we got NFL Thursday, college football Saturday, NFL on Sunday, and NFL on Monday.
Yeah,
sounds like a great week to me. Sounds like a phenomenal week. And then we film on Tuesday. Isn't that awesome? So, all right, guys, we're going to see y'all next Tuesday. Everybody, y'all be safe. Peace.